Welcome back to Mark and Nick's Excellent Film Podcast. I'm Mark.
I'm Nicholas.
And we have a guest with us today.
Hello, I'm Jacob.
Yeah, we have Jacob.
Being extra quiet. This is an ASMR channel now.
Yeah, we have Jacob from the 296 podcast.
Yeah.
And today we watched... What did we watch, Nick?
We watched Jaws.
Jaws is one of my favorite movies. I've been watching it at least once or twice a year since I was like 5 years old. It made me want to make movies and all that good stuff. It, for a lack of a better term, it fucking slaps.
Yeah, this was one of the first movies that Mark and I watched together too.
Yeah, we went on a date to a movie theater to watch Jaws together.
Yeah, there's a local theater called Coolidge Corner that does a lot of yeah, it's a good one. They did a cinematography seminar on Jaws, and then I went to that, and then Mark had saved me a seat in the theater, and then we watched Jaws together.
Yeah, it was funny because I invited Nick pretty last minute because I was seeing somebody at the time around there who lived around there, and I didn't drive to Boston, so I was going to be stranded there, but I wanted to go home that night, so I was like, hey, Nick, you want to come see a movie? And since we live in the same town, you want to drive me home?
We don't even live in the same town.
Yeah, we live close enough.
We live north of Boston.
Yeah. You know how it is.
The greater Boston area.
Yeah. So Jaws opens up perfectly. We have some young lovers.
We have a dazed and confused opening.
Yeah. We have these two.
Vibe.
Yeah, we have two young lovers, and they're giggling, they're goofing out. It's the 70s. AIDS hadn't happened yet. It was fun.
Everyone was wearing bell bottoms. They were skinny dipping.
So this is pretty much our big horror moment.
Oh, they're running.
They're running. All right, Jacob, you don't have to comment on horror. That's not what we do on this show.
Yeah.
In this scene.
Yeah.
There's the horror starting of this movie is great with the first girl being violently thrown around in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
You get to see titty. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always said that like this and Jurassic Park are pretty much the same movie because they hit the same exact beats and they're directed by the same exact person. So this is like so for people who have never seen Jaws but have seen Jurassic Park, this is the shooter moment in the movie to the point where it's like there's the scene in Jurassic Park where like the guy is going up and down the wall. They're doing that with the girl but in the water, so it actually makes sense.
Right. Yeah, there's a couple times watching this where I immediately made that connection. Like, this is Jaws, or this is Jurassic Park. I mean.
This is
Jaws.
Jake was like, wait, I think this movie has a lot of connection with this movie called Jaws?
Yeah. Wait, what the movie on screen right now is exactly like Jaws. It's crazy.
Yeah. It opened the same way. Yeah, so I think this is like a better opening because I think like the way it's shot. Like also I know Nick always has a problem with Day for Night, but I think this is some of the best Day for Night we've ever had.
Yeah. There's it's all right. The sun's a little high. I like that they tried to do like a dusk or dawn. Well, probably dawn. I assume it's they stayed up drinking all night type thing. But the moon, the sun is already pretty. I'm like so used to Day for Night and trying to call the sun the moon.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty good. And there's a couple other ones later on that I don't really mind on the boat.
Yeah. I think that Steven Spielberg guy has a really good idea how to shoot things sometimes.
Got a few good ideas.
Yeah. I like that we start from like this like horrific opening of like this girl is being ripped apart, which you never even see anything happening, but it's like so cerebral that you imagine it, and it's much worse than what's happening on screen. And then we just go to like this like really cool fade that kind of like exposes the Day for Night a bit.
A bit.
It's the whole screen's white.
Yeah. It completely blows it out. But
Yeah.
it looks cool.
Yeah, I like how we go from that to this really mundane fucking moment of this guy getting out of bed and she being like, oh, where are the kids? And he's just like, they're in the yard.
Yeah. We get our iconic Boston accents.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, it's a very New England film, and since we're from New England, we're obligated to think this is the best movie ever made.
Yes.
Alongside such classics like Good Will Hunting, The Town, The
Aw,
Departed,
damn, I didn't think you were gonna say The Town. I
Yeah.
had it ready.
The Departed, Mystic River, and is there another one? Another
Manchester by the Sea.
Manchester by the Sea? What one?
Isn't 7 in Boston?
No. Is Seven in Boston?
Well, they shot the library scene in the Boston Public Library, so I don't know.
Oh.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Yeah, that's a great one. That one
That's all the
slaps.
Boston movies.
Yeah.
That's every single
There's
one.
also that movie Stronger where Jake Gyllenhaal shows his cock.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ambulance?
Oh, I wish. No, I so we meet Chief Brody. He's our main character, played by Roy Scheider, and he's sick. He's like the better version of Alan Grant. Cause I don't know. Well, maybe I don't know about that actually.
Kind of like Grant's arc more. Like his hatred, his pure hatred for kids. Especially like when it's displayed in that scene with like the kid where he's like, "Oh, it's just really just a big turkey," when he's talking about like a fucking was it a velociraptor?
Yeah.
And then Grant just slowly walks up to him, lectures him, puts him in his fucking place. Describes like a gruesome way in which a velociraptor would murder this fucking kid.
Yeah.
And then just walks back, returns
Yeah.
to normal.
I think my reason of liking Brody a little bit more is because I think this movie. So I think the main difference between Jaws and Jurassic Park is
Dinosaurs.
that dinosaurs.
They're
No,
fucking sick.
is that. I mean, they're both masterpieces, but I think Jaws lets you breathe a little more.
It does. Like
the little-
Jurassic Park is like breakneck pace.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
Jurassic
that stuff
Park.
is happening all the time.
Yeah, there's something going on every second of Jurassic Park.
Is it 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with this one, there's more time to breathe. I think that's why I like the character more, because we spend more time with Brody and like quieter moments, like the scene of him and his son like mimicking each other.
Well, we spend a lot of time just on the boat, you know, with the 3 main characters.
Exactly.
There's a lot of character development that's slower and I guess less upfront, more cerebral than Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but it's even like before we even get to the boat, like the stuff, like the scene,
Yeah, I didn't mean
like
to
the
skip
scene when
ahead.
like the mother confronts him, like the mom who lost her son, and she slaps him across the face, and she's just like, "My boy is dead because of you, and I want you to know that."
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah,
Where the themes of Jurassic Park are more upfront too. Like Jaws is more about humanity in a way.
yeah.
Would you say that's correct?
I would say that's correct.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah,
It's sweet.
yeah. Whereas Jurassic Park's more about the bastard, like science being
Science,
evil.
technology, capitalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, these things don't miss, you know. Like Jaws is a movie about we need to do this, whereas Jurassic Park, his thesis is they were too busy wondering if they could, they didn't think about if they should.
Right, yeah. Jurassic Park is about consequences, whereas Jaws is like it's like Moby Dick.
Yeah.
We have a goal and we're gonna die for that goal.
Mm-hmm. I think Moby Dick's a good comparison with this, because Quint is definitely a lot like Ahab, but you know,
he's insane.
it's slower. It's slower than Jurassic Park, and I guess you make the argument that these are the anatomy chapters, the slower
Which
bits.
one? Oh, the slower bits. It's not that boring. Okay, it's a good pace. It's a
Yeah.
good pace.
Yeah.
It's not a boring movie. This isn't like an art film. You know,
Yeah.
this isn't a bad A24. This is good.
Yeah.
Everything in this is technically
Yeah.
shot for shot good.
This isn't Men.
It's not, man.
Um.
It's not about toxic masculinity.
Yeah. That horrid phrase.
Appalling phrase.
Yeah, I like how in the beginning it's all chaos too with Brody's life, where he's just walking around, everyone's just like talking to him, and it's also like the movie has a great selection of oneers. There's a really great one at the police station where they cut. It was this kid, the kid who saw the dead girl, who was with the dead girl, and then like Polly, the secretary, comes in, and then the camera moves over, and you see Chief at his typewriter, and then it goes into the office, and I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, and then there's a awesome insert shot of the typewriter
And it's
filling out the the police report of
Attack.
what happened, and it just types out shark attack.
Yeah. Also, I like how funny the beginning is, where it's like a lot of like weird shit, like where she's like, "It seems like the kids at the karate school are just karateing the picket fences."
This movie is more hilarious than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be it's a little bit further than this, but it's like the line about the phone in the water. Like he pulls up in his car to the chief and he's like, "Sorry, I would have called you, but I didn't have a phone in the water." Is that what he said?
No, he was like, there's a bunch of kids getting their merit badges for swimming. I couldn't call them in. There's no phones out there.
Yeah. It's hilarious. Oh, here it is. Yeah.
I was like, it's funny, like Mark saying it word for word, like
Yeah,
with the actor saying it.
Yeah, dude, this movie is burned into my fucking
I
brain.
also just have a terrible memory for lines, so it's my fault.
Yeah. I once tried to have Jacob do a movie, and he had the script in front of him, and he still couldn't do it.
Man. What do you mean I couldn't? I did it fine.
Yeah, after like 48 takes.
It was like 8. Such an exaggerator.
Okay, add 40 to that. Anyway,
It's 48.
yeah. I like also that like, could Chief actually override the mayor in the decision to close the beaches?
I would assume yes for
Martial
public
law.
safety. Yeah, going to martial law. Yeah. But he's also just, and they talk about it a lot. It's just him and the deputy.
Yeah,
until
and it's his
4th
first
of July.
summer.
Yeah. So I assume he wouldn't understand the bureaucracy of actually closing the beach, and they
Well-
kind of play into.
Well, he's a New York cop.
He's
so-
a normal guy. You know, he doesn't intrude. He doesn't like intruding. He knows his place, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's like he's getting a lot of pressure from the mayor, who's a great character. I like his arc a lot. I think his performance is one of the highlights of the movie. I think other than the trio, his performance is the best.
Yeah, he has a lot of there's a really great oneer where they're arguing on a ferry, and they just have a great conversation between the coroners there too.
Yeah.
And saying, "No, yeah, that wasn't a shark attack," because
Yeah.
they're trying to fudge it so that they don't have to close the beaches.
Yeah, my favorite bit with him, he's played by Murray Hamilton, who's a great actor. He's in a lot of great stuff. Graduate, Anatomy of a Murder, The Hustler.
Graduate.
He's the Mrs. Robinson's husband.
Ah.
But I like the scene where Hooper and Chief are talking about how they found Ben Garner's boat and the tooth, and he's just like, "So you don't have the tooth, though?" Yeah,
The evidence. Oh.
Yeah, you don't have the evidence. Oh, okay. So I'm supposed to believe you. You know, the summer's our livelihood, and they're all arguing each other. And he's like, I don't. You know, he's like, you're
not even an islander.
My favorite line that he has is when he's just like, "You'd love to prove that, wouldn't you? Get your name in the National Geographic." And then Cooper
and then he
breaks.
freaks out. Yeah.
You can tell it pinched a nerve for him.
Yeah. And I also love when he realizes that he's in the wrong finally at the end when he's in the hospital. And he's like muttering to himself, and he's like all frazzled.
He's like, "My kids were on that beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an emotional moment.
It's a very emotional moment.
I forced that family to go into the water."
Yeah.
I hate my son. I just had a cannoli, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill my son.
My son, who's going to be an important character in the sequels for no reason other than fucking we needed another kid.
We accidentally killed all Mike's friends.
Yeah. I like the red herring with the dog, where the dog dies off screen, because I don't think they could have got away with that.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
No, but they can get away with killing a kid.
Yeah. John Carpenter barely got away with it doing Halloween. You seen the Halloween, right, Nick?
Yeah, I don't remember a dog death though.
Yeah, remember the dogs outside barking out of Annie's house, and then you hear, and then it stops, and she's like, "Oh, I must have had a hot date," and then it cuts, and the dog's legs go limp, and Michael's strangling it.
Oh yeah, okay. It's like hanging down, right? You don't see.
You see him. You see like the legs. You see the legs
Yeah.
go from like a dog to like completely limp.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, brutal. Poor dog though.
They had to kill 4 dogs in
Yeah.
that scene.
Because the lighting kept being off.
They kept turning all the lights off.
Yeah. Oh, boom and shot. Bring another dog. I also love the whole beach sequence before Alex the kid dies, where he's like, where you have like all like every time someone walks by the camera, we cut to a different like shot.
It's so
of Chief
good.
or like his or his POV.
Yeah. I love the first like 3. It's a slow like pan in with intercuts, and it's probably one of my favorite like shots in cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people ask me, this is honestly the first thing that comes to mind every time.
Well, you said it was like you pointed something out like it's so simple, but it works so well. You know, it adds to the tension of that scene so well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like the genius of Spielberg that people don't like to give him credit for, because everyone makes fun of like him. Oh, he's so simple. I'm like, that's why his movies are so good.
Yeah, like everything in the movie has a point.
Yeah,
like every camera movement, you know, every shot there's a point there.
Yeah,
he's trying to convey an emotion.
Yeah, the thing about Spielberg that I don't think he gets enough credit for is that he doesn't have to do what, like, let's say someone like Paul Thomas Anderson has to do. Where Paul Thomas Anderson is my favorite filmmaker, but like with Magnolia, there's like a oneer that goes to an entire fucking studio.
He's kind of showing off.
Yeah, whereas
you can't tell with a lot of these oneers. Like if you didn't point them out to me, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, like Spielberg's doing all these really impressive things. He's setting up all these things, but he's doing it in the most simplistic way because Spielberg is just doing what Hitchcock would do. There's a lot of Rear Window in this movie.
Speaking of Hitchcock, the dolly zoom.
Yeah, the
beach scene.
Yeah, the vertigo zoom.
The classic shot.
Yeah,
but it has a point. Like that was a very well executed. Would you say that's one of the best or the best executed dolly zoom?
I would say it's I think it's better than Vertigo. I'd say it's better than Vertigo's.
Yeah, because it works. It just works. Every shot works.
Yeah. And like when he does like something impressive like that, it's like it's earned. Like he's so good at building tension because like he knows he does like the Hitchcock thing of like the audience knows what's like he's like you have two people having a conversation and neither of them know that there's a bomb under the table, but the audience knows. That's how you create tension.
Yeah.
And Spielberg knows like does that. It's like, well, they don't know that there's gonna be a shark because we seen the dog get eaten, so we know that the shark's gonna probably is in the vicinity. Nobody else knows that he's in the vicinity, and so we're all tensed up. One thing I just noticed recently while watching it for the billionth fucking time, so Chief Brody is scared of the water, and when he's running to the water to tell everyone to get out of the water, he stops right before his feet touch the water, and I'm like, what a fucking touch that is.
Yeah, it's little stuff like that like I hadn't noticed that either. There's a couple shots that on this watch through I watched closer and I was like, ooh, wow, I like this shot even more than I did before.
Yeah, it's like this movie, I think this is one of the most meticulously perfect movies in terms of like every little thing is perfect.
Tell that to
the third act.
To the barrels, yeah.
Yeah. But like everything like I think that's why the barrels don't bother people when we watch it is because like the first like 2 acts are like so meticulous and they're so like there's nothing. You can't get us anywhere. So we're like, all right, now we're so glued already to the story. We're not paying attention to what all like, the weird inconsistencies at the end.
Yeah, he definitely mellows out in the second half.
Yeah.
But the introductory act is like it pulls you in.
Yeah, well, because
so much tension.
Well, because when he was making it, the shark wasn't working most of the time.
Oh, really?
Because originally he was gonna shoot it as just like a shitty B movie horror movie. Like the shark was like instead of the girl being whipped across like the water like it was, the shark was gonna come out of the water and take her whole. Like that's how it was supposed to open up. Like this big opening where the shark comes out of the water and lands on her.
I would love to see that.
I would not.
Yeah. Like the shark was gonna be in the movie all the time.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't, but I wanted to see that shot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. I would like to see that shot, just not in the movie.
Just not in the movie. Maybe Jaws 2.
Yeah. Spoiler. Yeah. So there's a lot of like more focus on the town and stuff because Spielberg was like, I don't have a shark, so Let's just add some more scenes where we're talking about the politics of the town.
There's a really good thing too that you called out. There's a lot of dialogue that people are just talking over each other in this, which I love because it's more natural.
Yeah,
and
it's giving you anxiety.
Yeah, and you had mentioned that like they were running out of days, and they were like, okay, just read over each other, like just get those lines out, boys.
Yeah, like we need to move. Yeah. It's like we're 40 days behind schedule. 6 pages a day. 6 pages a day.
We have the great introduction, the character Quinn, who's like the insane guy.
Going back to our bonding roots with me and Nicholas, we got Robert Shaw, who played Grant, and Nick did not know that was Grant until 90% of the way through the movie.
Yeah, then it's pretty impressive. He aged well. I had always heard
he aged like shit.
I think. Well, I mean,
that was 12 years before this.
Whoa! Oh wow! He didn't age well. He aged like a sea captain.
Yeah, he aged like Sean Connery.
Because I don't know if it might be another captain or something. Like maybe some of the extras. It was just like people who they were like, oh, you kind of look like a seaworthy old dude. Would you like to be in Jaws?
Yeah.
And I thought he did so well that they casted him, and then I was like, oh, he's just an actor.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey, he's great. He's in a lot of great stuff. He's in a great movie called The Sting with Robert Redford and Paul Newman. He's also great in you ever see Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3? He's like a thief, and he's like hijacking a subway system.
Oh.
And he wants them to deliver a ransom, or he's gonna kill all the passengers on the subway. It's pretty sick.
That seems like a weird thing to hijack, like a closed loop.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we'll just stop the train here.
No, because he takes control of the whole fucking thing.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm just picturing it like in Boston, where it's just like a big circle.
Yeah.
And they just go, okay, we're just going to cut the rails here, and we'll just derail the train.
It's okay. It happens anyways on the Green Line.
Yeah.
Once a year.
It derails itself.
Yeah. You don't even need to hack it, dude. It's great.
Yeah. One of my other favorite little touches is like in this movie is when Brody is reading books about sharks and his wife scares him, and then he starts talking about how as if he's a shark expert. It's like, people don't know anything about sharks. They live 2,000-3,000 years, they don't know, and it's just like you just read that.
He's looking at picture books for kids.
Yeah.
Like he's reading like Baby Shark.
He's reading like the pictures, like the caption under the picture.
This guy thinks he's reading anatomy chapters from Moby Dick. No, he's looking at fucking pictures of like people getting their arms and legs torn off.
Yeah.
There's some good pages in there with illustrations of actual shark bite wounds that I thought added a lot. I don't know if it was in this one or if it's a later book they're looking at.
It's this one. It's
pretty gruesome, actually.
Yeah.
What rating is this? PG-13?
PG.
PG.
This is
pre-13.
I would not show that to an adolescent.
I watched it when I was 5 years old.
That's why Mark is fucked up.
That's true. I think
we know what movie caused that now.
Yeah, Over the Edge.
Over the Hedge.
Yeah. I saw this and that like back to back almost.
Wow.
Which is weird, right? But
This is
Spielberg's actually one of the people who invented the PG-13 rating, I think. I'm pretty positive because I think
was this the first PG-13 movie?
No.
Okay.
This wasn't.
No, this is the first blockbuster summer movie, right?
Yeah. I think the first PG-13 movie was Temple of Doom. And I think
that would check out. I would figure that would be PG-13.
I think it's either Temple of Doom or it's Gremlins, and that's produced by Spielberg. So either way, and I think he did it because he wanted kids, like people, to be able to see it and does not have to be rated R. He said there needs to be something in between PG and R because the restrictions are too crazy.
Yeah, I think it's still Spielberg, but it's Red Dawn was the first one.
Oh, then he had nothing to do with that. But
okay. I'll still give him
let's
credit,
let's
though.
pretend it was Temple of Doom, so I can look like I was right.
Oh, look right here.
Oh, look at this! It's Temple of Doom.
Google updated.
Can we talk about it for a second? The gag with the kids on the boat. when the wife of the chief is like, well, the chief like wants the kids to get off the boat because he just like witnessed the crime scene of a shark attack.
Yeah, and his
And
son
he's
Michael
like-
is sitting in a boat. He has 2 sons. He has Michael and Sean.
Yeah, he's yelling at them like, get off the boat, get off the boat. And the wife is like, hey, they're fine, like leave them alone.
Yeah.
But she has the picture book in her hand.
Well, she's like, she makes a good point. She's like, he's in a boat. He's not in the water. I don't think he'll
Yeah.
ever go in the water again after what he fucking saw. He just saw a kid get ripped apart by a shark.
Yeah, but she has the picture book that he's reading in her hands. She looks down. It's like a drawing of a shark biting into a boat. And he's like, okay, get them out of there.
Yeah, she's like, Michael, get out! Did you hear your father out of the water now? I like the gag with like the 2 guys with the fucking roast, the holiday roast, and that's how they're gonna track the shark.
Oh,
Like they put it,
Yeah.
they put it on a hook and they throw it in the water.
Yeah, and that has a really cool like moment too, where the Jaws does clip onto that summer ham and rips the dock off, and we get a really cool like
Tense, yeah,
another like, oh, you can't see the shark, but the shark is about to chase this person.
yeah. I love that. I like how what Spielberg's able to do without ever showing it.
Yeah.
Because then there's also that moment like, was the shark even doing that?
Yeah, it's actually, I don't think it was, because I think it just left, and then it shows the dock floating back, and it like floats up onto the beach basically.
Yeah.
So obviously the shark's not ahead of it.
Yeah. I also I love everything about the sequence, even if it's day for night stuff.
I was gonna say there's one thing I don't like about it.
I don't think the day for night looks bad in this movie.
I will take the day for night over them reflecting the sunlight right into I forget which
Ben Gardner.
was it Gardner?
Like in the
No, it's in this. I forget if it's the chief or if it's
on the boat.
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Like they have like a
reflector. Yeah, it's Ben Gardner.
Okay, cool. And it looks terrible.
Yeah.
Totally blows out his face.
Yeah. Dude, this movie's so fucking good.
This movie rocks.
Yeah, this movie fucking slaps, kids.
You gotta watch it sometime.
Yeah, I also then we have the horror master Frank Silva, who I just want to give a shout out to him because he looks like a fucking most New England man I've ever seen in my life, and I live here.
It was great. He's cute.
Yeah, I kiss him on the lips.
He's a cute old man.
Yeah, there's like a longer extended version of this scene where it'll just you have like people falling into the water while the harbor master is eating cereal. Which is also like the idea like this guy's the harbor master. He's not doing anything.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
What a king.
He's loving it.
Yeah. We then meet Ben Gardner, who meets Matt Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, who I think is the best part of the movie.
The Dr. Malcolm you said?
Ian Malcolm, yeah, he's the Jeff Goldblum equivalent, the smart ass know it all who is right in almost every single time. But yeah.
Yeah, he's so good. There's like of the 3 of them, I have a hard time picking between him and Chief, but I gotta go Chief.
Yeah, I'm Hooper. Is Jacob going to be Quint?
I think I'm a Hooper actually.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I like him because he's a short king.
I think it would.
Well, he's like the comic. Not I wouldn't say comic relief, but he's like the dude who doesn't belong. I like that, when a character doesn't belong. He's from the city.
Yeah, he's like Ian Malcolm. Like we have like these 2 dorky
he
fucking
doesn't
scientists.
fit. And like the contrast between him and the other characters to me is like pretty funny.
Yeah, like it's like Ian Malcolm where he's like you have these 2 dorky fucking loser fucking paleontologists, and you have fucking leather jacket
Another thing about
shows
him,
up.
He kind of just doesn't give a fuck about who he is. He's not ashamed of it.
A Hooper? Yeah.
Well, there's a part. So Hooper's rich, and
Quint is not.
Yeah, Quint calls him like playing shipmate.
And there's a
like
line
not
There's a line about him being rich too. He's like, what does he say? Like, are you rich? And he's just like, yep.
And they're like, how much? And he's like, well, personally or my whole family.
Yeah.
Which means he comes from like a really rich family.
Just to jump back to the trio, you had mentioned him being kind of like the out of water person, but I like that it's almost like of the three of them, you can always pick two, and they will have something that the other person doesn't. So it's like, oh, there's two people who like boats, and one person who does not. There's two people from the island, and one person that's not. And then there's two people that like want the shark dead, and one who wants to kind of look at it before they blow it up.
Yeah. Well, one of them does not want to blow it up. Yeah, that's Zen Gardner. The chemistry between Chief Brody and Matt Hooper is incredible. Like the scene when they go to when they have dinner together, or when Hooper has dinner at Chief Brody's house, while Chief Brody fills an entire fucking cup with wine.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, like the chemistry between the two is incredible, and you buy that they're friends, even though they've only known each other for probably like 3 hours.
Yeah, there's a surprisingly good chemistry between them, like right at the get-go, whereas with Quint and Hooper, it's like immediate tension.
Yeah, they immediately don't like each other because they're also like definitely different styles of acting too.
Well, it's like the rural versus urban type tension too.
Yeah,
which I like.
Yeah, I also like on the set of the film, Richard Dreyfuss and Robert Shaw fucking hated each other's guts for the first like few weeks of filming. Like, absolutely fucking despised one another. And then Robert Shaw started being nicer to Richard Dreyfuss. And in the movie, that's when they start to kind of get along a little bit. And Richard Dreyfuss was like, oh, are you doing a fucking thing?
Method acting.
Yeah. He's like, are you doing a fucking thing, dude? Yeah, it's good shit, good shit.
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby. Yeah, it's funny that we don't, none of our favorite is Quint, because that's usually the go-to, like, oh, best guy, best one. But
and it's interesting because I think he's a great character and it's well acted.
Yeah,
but it's just the other two are.
Do you think it's because we spend more time with the other two? Because with Chief Brody, you know, we spent 2 movies with the motherfucker.
I don't really know if Quint is likable.
I mean, just because he's not likable doesn't mean he can't be like your favorite character in the film.
Yeah.
Because like Ian Malcolm isn't really that likable, and he's my favorite part.
Ian Malcolm's very likable. He's funny.
Well, he's funny, but he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Uh,
In Jurassic Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, like he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
and people just like it because he's fantastic in it.
Yeah, he's trying to bang. His only thing he wants to do the entire time is bang Alan Grant's girlfriend.
Yeah, who can't relate to that?
Yeah, who doesn't want to see what Laura Dern?
Yeah.
There's a great moment in the film where they catch the townies catch a shark, and it ends up being the wrong shark, and it has my favorite fucking scene in the entire movie, where they're all like, "What kind of shark?" and they're all speaking in Boston accents, and Hooper's like, "It's a tiger shark," and then the guy just turns out and is like, "A what?" But that's not the reason why it's my favorite. My favorite is because they cut away for a second, and then they cut back to the same guy, and now instead because like he really sounds like a what, and then he's like, "I'll show your fucking head in there and find out if it's a fucking man eater." And he starts talking like he's a fucking Boston guy, and I'm just like, that's so. I don't know why I find that so funny, but I do. I think it's like
because you've met guys like that.
Yeah.
Or their solution to everything is, I'm gonna fuck some sense into this.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck some sense into it.
Yeah, I'm gonna hammer some sense into it. I'm gonna fuck the shark. I'm gonna put my dick in the shark's mouth and see if it's the same diameter.
Yeah. Yeah, I also so like one of the scenes that really traumatized me as a kid was after like Hooper and Chief have like a dinner together, and they set up the thing that they don't do that they do in the book. So the book, all right, actually side tangent. The book of this sucks. The book that this movie is based on sucks ass. I've read it twice.
Wait, here's a question: is the Jurassic Park book good?
It's okay.
Okay. You pointed out a trend to me where like the 70s books that movies are adapted from are never actually good.
Yeah, like Hollow Orange is terrible.
Yeah, I just found that interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. One exception is The Godfather. The Godfather book is really good, but it also has like a lot of unnecessary shit in there.
It was Blade Runner 70s?
I think that was written in the 60s, but
okay, never mind.
But
no, the movie.
Oh, that was in the 80s.
Okay.
But yeah, Shining's a good example of a bad book in 70s. But so in the book, they have this stupid subplot where Hooper sleeps with Chief Brody's wife, and also there's like a weird subplot with the mob. And that's one of the reasons why the mayor doesn't want the beach to be closed, because he like kind of like owes money to the mob or some shit, or the mob has like interest in it being open, and that's one of the reasons why they can't close it down. And it's like that's completely unnecessary.
Yeah, I think it's fine just having the mayor be like very vested in the finances of the island.
Yeah, it makes more sense rather than like you don't need to bring the mob into it.
Yeah, it makes his like arc where he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, I just put my family on the line for this."
Yeah.
I feel like if you do that with the mob, it's like, what's it back?
Jaws the book feels like a writer found a bunch of like he was like
Pictures of sharks.
No, he was like, "Oh, I like this. I love Moby Dick. I love The Godfather, and I like pulpy novels. Let's throw them all together."
I love hot babes.
Yeah.
Does he describe women like naked in detail?
No, not really. Peter Benchley's
It's pulpy.
a really dry writer.
Oh, okay. So another question: when is it, is it revealed at all that that he cheated on his wife or on?
When does it happen? I think it happens before they go on the boat, or it happens.
So wait,
It might happen in the scene where they're all bonding.
Guess what?
Because it feels like there's never really a good time in the movie.
I think that replaces the Indianapolis scene.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
The Indianapolis scene is
great.
The Indianapolis scene is a film only creation.
I'm pretty sure it's a real event too.
Yeah, it is. It's historically a real thing. But I'm saying like in terms of like.
The book.
Yeah, I think Quint mentions that he was on the USS Indianapolis, but that's where it ends.
Yeah.
Or it's like a thing that they talk about, like Chief Brody's like, yeah, he was on the USS Indianapolis, whatever, just to give you some exposition on who he is, but like it's never like he doesn't go through like the whole monologue. Whereas here, like that's like one of the highlights of the movie, and they got rid of Hooper sleeping with Chief Brody. Like in the movie, there's like no time for it to ever have occurred, but
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
they do kind of set it up.
Like, where were they gonna put it? Like, we point out, like, they're both swimming in the aftermath of the shark. It's like, oh, this is a good time to reveal it, right?
Yeah,
like as a joke, but
yeah,
there's no good time.
Like, I think, well, it's also like they also, I think in the book they have like this whole thing where Chief Brody and his wife aren't like great at that time. Yeah, but in the movie they changed that where they're fucking in love, bro.
They're fucking.
Yeah, they want to get drunk and fool around. But but in like the dinner scene, they kind of set up the idea that Hooper's more charming than Chief Brody.
Yeah, there's a cool ad lib that I'll let you talk about. But
Richie Dreyfuss, he just grabs food and starts eating it.
Yeah, and I feel like her genuine reaction of laughing at it is so good. If you're gonna have it be like, oh, she's falling for his charm.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that actually like kind of fits with the way she acted the scene too.
Yeah, I think maybe they shot some stuff of it, but they were just like, Hooper is likable because in the book,
not enough sharks in this storyline.
Hooper, yeah, like Jaws, the book is more about the human relationships, where it's like why?
Why?
I think the movie has a perfect amount of it, because I feel like instead of it being about all these people who are struggling with all their individual shit, like they're all struggling with this one incident that's like bringing them all to like these three completely different dudes together. It's a movie about boys being boys.
It's a movie about dudes.
Yeah,
but guys
being guys.
This is a no woman allowed type beat.
Just some buddies on a boat.
Yeah. This is literally what it's like to go on a boat with your friends.
I'll fucking die.
Yeah. Hooper dies in the book, which makes more sense because he fucked Chief Brody's wife.
He was asking for it.
Yeah.
Mother Nature got ahead of him.
Yeah, and it's clear that like it's also funny when you watch the movie, you can also tell like he probably should have died here.
Yeah, it's kind of, it almost feels like they wrote it for him to die in the script too, and then we're like,
I think that actually one of the reasons why they didn't do it is because like like that there's stock footage that they use.
Yeah.
And then the shark is like stuck.
between
Legitimately
the
got
cage
yeah.
and
He
the
literally
boat.
got, he legitimately got stuck in the cage, and he's like freaking out. There's nobody inside the cage,
Oh, that makes sense.
so they were
Yeah.
like, Hooper left the cage.
Yeah, because it's really good stock footage.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the barrels, which is a pretty big error, but
Yeah,
it looks super cool.
yeah. I like the idea though that Hooper is just like sitting in the like behind the rock, just watching it all go down, going, "Holy shit!"
It just fucking blew up. What just happened?
What the fuck, bro?
Holy crap!
Like the fact that he didn't like swim up to let his boys know that he's alive. What a drama queen. What are they? What are they started fucking like sailing away? Like, oh, Hooper in the cage. Let's get the fuck out of here, buddy.
They're gonna be so happy when they see me pop out later.
Yeah,
Just, where'd the boat go?
yeah. It's a little bit silly. I kind of think that Hooper probably should have died. As much as I love him, like, I think the only reason why I'm thinking that is also because he never appears in any of the sequels anyway.
Yeah, and I don't think he adds anything to the end because like Chief is over his fear, so he could have just swam alone back with the little flotation thing he had. Like we would miss like 3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, it's cute though.
Yeah.
I used to hate the water. Can't imagine why. I know you missed a big thing.
I would like if he just talked to himself. I used to be scared of the
I
water.
used to hate the
now."
water. Can't imagine why. No, I'd hate that actually.
Yeah, that would be so awful.
Steven Spielberg was right. Keep Hooper alive, but don't keep Ian Malcolm alive. Hot
What's
take.
all that about?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing.
Yeah, because that would have saved us from the fucking Lost World. So yeah, basically, there's also another great filmmaking bit in the film. Oh yeah, scene that traumatized me as a child. Ben Gardner, Ben Gardner's boat. Chief is drunk as fuck on a boat, and they end up finding Ben Gardner's boat. It's being torn apart. He's like a local fisherman, and Hooper decides to go down there and check out the fucking ship of the boat, see if anything's up with it. He finds a big old tooth in there. It's a big old great white tooth, but he notices something else, and a fucking head comes out. And I can tell you, my 5-year-old self freaked the fuck out.
It was a little scary.
Yeah,
Seeing that body float up.
Yeah, I used to watch this movie all the time as a kid, and I would always leave the room for that scene.
I feel like, and I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure it shows up slowly, and then there's like a stinger moment, and it's like, what the? And it's like, oh my god!
Yeah, I did have a little bit of a delayed
Yeah.
surprise reaction to that. It did get me.
Yeah,
I was surprised. I was spooked out.
yeah. It's really well constructed. That's how well constructed this movie is. Is that this was made like almost 50 years ago, and it still like can make you jump.
Yeah, it's not like The Birds.
No. Yeah, and then I like then Hooper is like, all right, we need to fucking figure this shit out, and they like the next day is the 4th of July, I think, or it's 2 days later.
Yeah.
And he's, oh yeah, maybe the Lady of the Dunes is in this. I don't know. We don't know. I had to mention it.
Argue in the comments.
Yeah, was that the Lady in the Dunes in the scene where they have all the people walking around? It's so vague that it could be real.
Was she a time traveler?
YouTube video coming up.
Yep.
A video essay about that.
Yeah. Was the Lady of the Dunes
I wish we had a Can the Crack open for that.
number 15? The Lady of the Dunes may have been in Jaws. Jaws. What do you think of this unexplainable occurrence?
The goblin in the background.
Yeah. There are theories that the actor who played this side character was actually a goblin. What?
That's just a theory.
A game theory. Yeah. So after all that, and like they have a big argument with Chief Brody and Hooper and the mayor, which is sick, slaps. We have like the next day on the beach, and everyone's like looking out for shit, and a fin comes up, and this is some great Spielbergian filmmaking right here. Is the fin shows up, and everyone freaks out. But there's something off about the fin. There's no music.
Something that only Mark would notice.
There's no music.
No dun 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 dun.
Yeah, because every other time we see the shark, it's dun 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 dun
Yep.
dun.
It's a little unusual. What happens next?
Yeah.
Why is it unusual?
There isn't a shark. There's these two
Surprise!
kids.
It's a kid. It's a fucking 8-year-old. It's not
two
a
of
shark,
them.
silly. 2 of them.
Yeah.
Two
'Cause I love how
eight-year-olds.
the kid they come out of the water and there's a gun pointed at them. And the kids immediately like, he made me do it.
Yeah. Instantly snitches.
What would those kids get? Would those
Shot.
would those kids be going to juvie for this? For causing like a actual
Yeah.
panic?
It's like a yelling fire type situation.
Yeah.
I'd feel like it. It's a tasteless joke.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, would they actually be reprimanded in any way?
Probably not.
Would their parents actually get fined?
I don't know.
They'd probably just get sat down with the police chief.
Yeah.
And, like, have a stern talking to.
Yeah. Chief Brody would beat them while his son, he's like, my son's in a coma because of you, you sons of bitches.
They wouldn't have been. He sent them to the pond before that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great thing is so Brody tells his son Michael to go to the pond. He would take his little boat in the pond because and he's like, the ponds are for old ladies. Like, I know for the old ladies, but do it for the old man, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why they call it a pond. It's like a cove. There's still a direct line from the ocean going, like, it's not far inland or anything like that. It's not separated.
It's
from
definitely
the
not a
ocean.
pond.
Well, there's like a bridge over it too. Like
Yeah.
it just goes into more open water, I think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a pond.
it's a cove.
What are they, British?
And even
What's
then,
the pond?
I don't know if it's even a cove.
I don't know.
I don't
it's
think-
just
I
a
don't-
fucking river, dude.
Yeah,
Oh well.
yeah. Oh well.
Another Spielberg plot hole.
Yep.
As we see.
Hack.
This is why Jurassic Park is better. There's no plot holes in Jurassic.
Oh yeah, there's zero. A cliff never magically appears out of fucking nowhere.
A guy doesn't randomly wander around into the park for no conceivable reason.
Yeah. And also this fucking gigantic park that's put all this time and research into the thing. They would never make backups to their DNA.
No, they would completely rely on electricity for the fences too.
Yeah. There would never be a backup generator.
In like the place of the world where there's the most hurricanes.
Yeah. Also, a great place to put a park.
Yo, good thinking, genius.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about Jurassic Park some other time.
Yeah, we'll have to watch that sometime and have you back for it.
Yeah.
Because we could do like the inverse of this. Because I haven't seen Jurassic Park since I was a kid. I
I
remember.
thought would be like, you haven't seen it.
Oh,
at
no.
all.
Almost came. Did you get it?
Oh.
Yeah, it got picked up on the mic.
Yeah. Jacob hadn't seen Jurassic Park until like 2 days ago, I think, right?
It was 2 days ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great movie. It's
Cause like,
it's in the top 10.
cause Jacob told me like he never seen it. I was like, what? And I've been like I've been hounding him ever since he told me that he hadn't seen it. I was like, you have to see it. You have to see it.
every night too. You're
Yeah.
like, dude, did you see Jurassic Park yet?
Yeah.
You see Jurassic Park yet?
Yeah. I send him weird nudes at them, and you know.
You'd have like a small the dino toys that are like 1 inch tall.
Yeah.
Have one over his dick.
Yeah.
It'd be fully nude.
It would just be fully nude, but the Jurassic Park
Yeah.
logo is covering my private part.
The dino
And
toy
it's
was
like,
like
once you see this, you can see it all.
the dino toy was just resting on the tip of his dick.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, the shark goes in the pond and you hear the dun 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 dun. It's a great moment where like this lady's like, "There's a shark in the pond! Oh my god!" And like she Roy's like, "Oh, what now?" And then like this wife's like, "Michael's in the pond," and you have this slow like move, like him like slowly beginning to run as like the theme starts to swell, and you're like, "Oh, this is so good."
This is the one where he's like, "Where's my gun? Where's my gun?" Right? Or is that a different one?
Yeah, he's like, "Does anybody got a gun?"
I like that he immediately goes to that because there's like a million kids around him.
Mm-hmm.
So if he aims at the wrong place, he's gonna fucking kill a kid.
Yeah. There's also a great thing where there's like this really bossing guys like, "You guys okay over there?" And then they get knocked out. Which how the fuck isn't Michael hearing that? There's a shark in the water.
Yeah, because they hear it across the water. Like, it's where that bridge is. she's yelling across, so like it can't be that loud.
Yeah. I mean, it's just three boys.
Another plot hole.
It's just three boys on a boat discussing if Fortnite's overrated.
Yeah.
I
love the Boston NPCs in this movie.
Oh yeah.
It's so
I'm
good.
doing it. Yeah.
Just enter and leave.
Yeah. You guys okay over there? And then like the boats get knocked over by the shark, which I don't know how Michael's gets knocked over because the shark knocks over the other guy's boat, but who cares?
Plot hole.
Plot hole.
Do we have a plot hole counter?
Yeah, there's a great that's a great shot though of Michael when he's out of the boat and he's like staring at the guy, and then we had the first time you see the shark in the movie. The shark comes up and bites the guy's leg off, or bites him completely off, and the leg falls.
Oh my god, the prosthetic for the leg looks so good.
Oh yeah.
That scared the ever-loving shit out of me as a kid as well, because I'm terrified of legs.
They really legs and underwater. Oh
no. Yeah,
How do they make those prosthetics?
I don't fucking know.
Because they're so detailed.
yeah, that's
Maybe they made a cast of the leg.
maybe it looks like it looks good.
Yeah, maybe they cut some guy's leg off.
Yeah, they just had one on set.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You said you give an arm and a leg to be in this movie.
Any volunteers?
I'll take one of each.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's the lady's arm earlier on when they do the corner report.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Harvey's like just playing with her arm.
I thought you were referring to the Jaws 3 arm, but you haven't seen that yet. They do the same bit from this, but they do it with an arm, and it looks like absolute dog shit.
They went backwards.
Yeah. Although there is a great corpse in that movie, like incredibly detailed. But yeah, so that's like the final straw. The mayor's like, my kids were on that beach too. Because Michael's now in the hospital because he's in shock. You can die from being in shock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does that have any like lasting side effects on you? Or like other than like PTSD?
I was gonna say PTSD. It probably can.
Does it like fuck with your heart or something?
I don't know. We'll phone a friend.
Yeah.
Hello, I have PTSD. Yes, it does in fact affect you. I was in Nam.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, the graffiti.
Oh yeah, you want to
about
talk about the
that?
graffiti on the billboard?
So
Looks
there's-
like sick. It looks
There's
sick.
this billboard that's like a woman swimming, and then the kids vandalize it, so it looks like there's a shark chasing her, and she's like, "Oh no, a shark!" Okay.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great little gag.
Yeah.
It's for the kids. It's a PG-13 gag.
Should we talk about the
PG.
Should we talk about the worst extra in film history?
Which one?
The doctor.
Oh yeah, the guy pushing the gurney.
Yeah, guy pushing the gurney, staring into the camera the entire time, and then when the camera moves, so like, all right, so at first it's bad because he's like he's not in the middle of a frame, so it's like he looks over and you're like, all right, dude, all right, but then he moves into the middle of the frame and he keeps staring into the camera like, okay,
He stares at it hard when he's turning, like he's only looking at the camera,
yeah.
and then after you catches a few glances.
Yeah, but like, when it's like when he's the center of the frame, it's fine. I feel.
Yeah, it works because he's looking forward anyway.
Yeah, but then like the camera turns and he gets one more glance up, and you're just like, you son of a bitch! You had one job, only gonna fucking. I wonder if because like when filmmakers watch their own work, all they see is the negatives. I wonder if Steven Spielberg, like when he has to watch this for something, he's like that fucking guy.
He's like, I'm going to that guy's house.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Yeah, like he watches it and he sees the guy on the beach laughing while everyone's like panicking, and he's just like, that son of a bitch.
You want to be the lady in the dunes?
Yeah, that's why the lady of the dunes, Steven Spielberg killed the lady of the dunes. You heard it here, folks. We broke the case. Who is she still? We don't know, but she's in Jaws.
Bad
so.
extra.
Yep. So yeah, the Michael being in the hospital, that's the final straw. The mayor's like, my kid's on that beach too. And they decide to hire Quint to kill the shark. And then we have our class struggles with Quint versus Hooper. And the fact that Chief doesn't like to drink, what was it, vodka or whiskey?
This was another scene where I was like, oh, I wonder if Hooper went
Richard.
off. Chief goes, hey, don't drink this. And then he just full like throats the shot, and Chief looks back at him and like laughs. I was like, oh, I love these so much.
Yeah. I like that. Like, I love when he grabs his hands. He's like, you got city hands. We've been counting money. Like, I don't need this fucking working class hero shit.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because Quint's like, I don't want to have to carry you fuckers, but he's the only one who's gonna die.
It's true. Yeah, he's the most hardened one.
Yeah, but he's the one who is like the liability of the three, honestly.
Right, yeah. In terms of like local politics, at least.
Well, it's not even the local politics. It's more of like the idea that like he prevents them from, I think, killing the shark.
Oh yeah, he gets ahead. He gets that Ahab fervor in him.
Yeah.
To get a little experimental with it.
Yeah, and he has that Ahab thing of I'm going down with the ship.
Yeah, it's this or death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's New Hampshire. Like, give me liberty or give me death.
Yeah.
Give me the shark.
Yeah. Actually, now that we're watching the movie, we might about to see the Lady of the Dunes, but I'm not sure. I might miss it again because I missed it when we were first watching it.
Dun, 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 dun.
What is? I'm afraid to ask. What is the Lady of the Dunes?
Lady of the Dunes is this body that was found in the area that this was filmed in.
Wait, where was this filmed? Is this Massachusetts?
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard.
Sick. A little local filming location.
Yeah, it's a body that was found, and no one has been able to identify who she is.
Like from the movie?
No, like the body. Oh, there she is, right there. She won with the bandana.
Yeah.
That's
wow.
That's supposedly the Lady of the Dunes.
Yeah. Yeah, so they, after they found this dead woman in the dunes by the beach, they have no idea who it was. And then somebody was like, she kind of looks like the extra in Jaws right here. And everybody was like, oh!
Insane.
Yeah. It's still an unsolved mystery.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the timelines, like, basically line up, but it was, like...
Well, I'm just saying the Lady of Dunes in general is just unsolved. Like, no one knows who killed her. No one knows who she is. Chris Alvey has his theories.
What's one of them?
Something about Hollywood. I don't know.
That Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
That dirty
spiel.
Urbanite.
Yeah. That fucking
Director.
California trash.
Yeah. He don't know how to make a film, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, it's not fucking Heat, kid.
Yeah. Where's De Niro?
Yeah.
You got how much money? What's the budget? Like
Yeah.
$10 million. There's no fucking De Niro. What kind of fucking movie is this?
Yeah. Imagine De Niro in this movie as fucking Hooper or something. He's like, there was a great white tooth. A great white tooth. All right, you ever
I saw the body.
Yeah, all right.
Have you ever seen a fucking body
You ever see
fall up in the ocean?
You ever see a great white tooth? You ever see a great white tooth? Bigger than your fucking head.
I'd show you,
Okay.
but I dropped it.
Yeah, I dropped it. So sue me. Sue me. Well,
You ever
what?
see what a harpoon gun can do to a great white?
Yeah.
I mean, that's Scorsese, but yeah. Point goes.
Yeah, there's just Jaws, but with like the '70s like man actors, where you get like Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson, and Robert De Niro, and they're just screaming the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm afraid of the water. I don't want to go in. But yeah, anyway, they all go on a boat, and it's the best shit ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, once I mean, the build up for the whole movie is great, but then it really comes together on the boat.
Yeah, that's when the movie really
Well,
starts.
that's when the character arcs start moving, start rolling.
Yeah. And we have a lot of great tension between Hooper and Quint, where there's the Quint opens up a beer and drinks the whole thing, crushes the can, and then they got like Hooper's got like a plastic cup of water. He drinks the water and just crushes
He
it.
got a styrofoam cup. He just crushes it with his hand. Just in a show of masculine force.
Yeah. And there's also this great argument about how if they almost got the shark on the line, but Hooper doesn't think it was real, and he's just like, "Oh, proves one thing, Mr. Hooper. As soon as you college boys can't admit when you're wrong," and Hooper starts like going like, "Fuck you," and he's like making faces. And he's like, "I can't take this abuse much longer."
And them college boys, what do they know?
Yeah,
Studying books. You can get that $2.50 at library card.
Yeah. How you like them apples? The Massachusetts multiverse.
Yeah, literally. It's just a connected series of events.
Yeah. Hooper, Matt Damon's character, Will Hunting, is actually Quint's son. Little known fact. That might be just a theory, though.
So anyways, we hop into a different multiverse.
Yeah.
And we're on the boat.
Yeah, and it has it has the best shit in it. They put barrels on them. Everything's tense. There's like the great moment where Hooper's trying to take pictures of the shark. He's like, "Chief, get to the end of the pulpit. He's like, I need you in the foreground." He goes and scares like, "Fuck that! Foreground my ass."
And I really like moments after that. He's Chief's like running away, and then who turns the corner with the harpoon gun, and Chief runs away again in the other direction.
Man knows no peace. And then I love the scene where they're comparing like scars.
Right, they're going. Yeah, you want to go?
No, I was just gonna say that's so good.
Yeah.
When I think of this movie, it's that scene and then the shot on the beach with the shifts between people crossing the frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have Quint has a missing tooth. Hooper's got like a thresher tail to the fucking it's a moray eel to the arm, bit through the his wetsuit, and he's got the fucking arm. Like Quint's arm can't extend completely because of an arm wrestling thing.
Yeah, Quint has a big bump on his head from St. Patrick's Day.
Yep. Cooper has
by the way.
What does Hooper have on his leg? It's not a thresher. It's something. But he's got a scar on his leg.
Oh, I think he said tiger shark.
Shark?
A shark he was taking samples from. He said, I think he says sliced. Because he said a word, and I was like, that seems like a weird way to describe what a shark would do to you.
Yeah, and then Quint has a thresher shark scar on his leg. And Chief's like, thresher? And Cooper's like, it's a shark. God,
you stupid landlubber.
Yeah. I also like that, like, there's like a point where Chief lifts up his shirt and he has like the appendix removal scar, and he's like, oh, I'm not gonna show that one.
I personally love that. I'm so glad that's in there.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad he doesn't bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like looking at it and he's like, yeah, this isn't a cool story.
Yeah, and then Hooper's like, I have the creme de la creme. Mary Ellen Muffet, she broke my heart.
That's the best joke in the whole movie.
Yeah, and then they're all laughing, and Chief points out,
and you can feel that they're connecting too.
Yeah,
like this is the scene where they come to terms with each other.
Yeah,
become friends.
Yeah, and Chief points out that Quint has another fucked up thing on his arm, and he's like, "Oh, it's a tattoo he got removed." And he says that's the USS Indianapolis, and
launches into a rant.
Well, the whole room, like the air in the room, gets fucking taken out.
Sucks dry, dude. Vacuum sealed.
Like Hooper goes from like laughing and like slamming on the table to being like, "You were on the Indianapolis," and then you have probably the greatest monologue in film history.
It's good.
It's no tears in Ran.
What?
No tears in Ran.
It's. Get the fuck out of here,
I know, I just
bro.
said that to trigger you. Sorry, dude.
Oh my god. Tears in the rain.
Dude, you know he came up with that? That wasn't even scripted.
It's a good scene. I love that scene. It's the best part of the movie. But it's just a shame that the best part of Blade Runner, when the movie gets kicking, is the ending of the movie.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's the best part. Like, the best part... The reason I like that movie is just the atmosphere, but that's... irrelevant. Sorry.
I just like the vibes.
I just really love the vibes, dude.
It's good vibes. Yeah, no, the Indianapolis scene is like debatably the greatest monologue I've ever seen in a movie, and I've seen a lot of movies.
The other monologue that comes to mind that I really like is in The Lighthouse, Willem Dafoe's like monologue screaming about Neptune and Poseidon, and I wonder if I just love seamen yelling about stuff.
Maybe
it's just something with old captains.
When I think of that scene, I think of a film that we did together, Nick, when we did the movie Thankless. And at the end of the credits, we have a little Salvi blooper where he starts doing the Lighthouse monologue. Remember? And he's just like, "May windows sink you down, Winslow."
I have to watch that. I don't remember that blooper at all.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
New Salvi material for old Nicholas. Yeah, and then they all start singing a song after the monologue. You have like the whole. I think the only monologue that I like, actually not that I like the same, but a monologue I can compare it to, where I think they kind of stole it. Halloween. I think Halloween kind of steals that monologue. With Mike, when Dr. Loomis is talking about Michael, and he's like, he had the blackest eyes, like, the devil's eyes, and then here he's like, the shark stares at you. He's got the blackest eyes, like a doll's eyes. I think Halloween stole it, or at least had to be influenced by it, because Dr. Loomis definitely has like some Ahab in him too.
Oh yeah, totally.
But anyway,
I think you stole from Halloween, dude.
Oh.
Did I? Oh yeah.
Call out canceled. Mark made a short film that's just copying Halloween.
It's not just copying it.
It's just no, I'm kidding. Okay.
Yeah, it's from a dream I had when I was 14, and I was scared.
Behind the door.
Yeah. Anyway, they're all like singing and they're having a great old time, but then all of a sudden they hear pff, 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 and the shark is sinking the ship. And then we have the rest of the film. We have two shooting stars show up.
Yeah, that was really cool. There's just Mark called it out. I would have assumed it was some weird thing they added in post for no reason, but they caught two shooting stars on film.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
Pretty swag.
It's scene after scene too.
Yeah.
Like you get the one scene, then you get the other shooting star scene.
Yeah.
It's great. Adds to the atmosphere.
That's great.
Vibes are good.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy. The vibes are good. There's a shooting star, and the shark just had to fucking ruin it.
Yeah.
No, these boys are just having a good time.
The shark, that's what the shark was like, guys, there's going to be a shooting star. Come on out. He didn't try eating him there. He just was like, guys, come on. Look at the sky.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. The third act has some of the most inconsistencies in the movie, though, where the barrels disappear every 2 fucking seconds. Anytime the shark is on screen, he has no barrels. Anytime the shark is on screen, he's got a bunch of barrels.
He doesn't know what to do with them. Sometimes he doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't want him on. Sometimes he does.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? There's no continuity error.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, then we have like Quint losing his mind because the ship is sinking and he doesn't want to get a bigger boat, so he breaks the fucking radio. The ship is falling apart. The cleats get ripped off. The fucking shark bites through one of its lines. One of the barrels breaks one of the windows and knocks Chief almost the fuck out.
It's total mayhem. The ship's getting destroyed. People are losing their minds.
And it keeps getting, and then just when you think it can't get worse, it gets worse. Quint blows up the fucking engine, so now they're just stuck.
Yeah, it's cool because he is clearly losing his mind under his collected exterior, because there's like the radio is the big one, but even everybody's like, stop revving the boat. The engine is full of salt water.
Yeah, and his response is to start singing.
Yeah,
and go faster. And he's gone. What was I'm trying to remember what the final straw is before like they decide to. Oh yeah, so like everything's blowing up. And Quint goes in there and he gets like a machete to like cut like the lines, but the cleats get ripped off anyway. And he goes in there, he sees the life jackets, which is when in Indianapolis he was stuck in the water he was stuck in the water for like a week with just the life jacket. Yeah, and I
might be misremembering in the monologue too, but he says he'll never put a life jacket on again.
Yeah, he says that exactly. Yeah. And he looks at his life jackets, gives him the Chief and Hooper, and he's just like, "Yep." So I don't know what to do. Hooper, remember that thing I was making fun of you about earlier in the movie with the cage and the little needle? Can you get this through his skin and kill him, please?
He goes, I'm kind of scared now.
Yeah, and Hooper's like, maybe. And Chief's like, you can't. He's like, you got any better suggestions? And then they start building the thing, and they put Hooper in the water. And
before, there's a really good transition where he goes, "You're not going in the water," and he screams, "Do you have a better idea?" And it hard cuts to them building the cage.
Yeah.
It's just him behind the grate.
Yeah. And then they have like this and then when Hooper goes in the water, he's like scared shitless. And then he goes in there and he fucks up immediately. He drops the fucking pole. Which
like immediately.
One of the things, here's a plot hole.
Ding ding ding.
Ding ding ding. So why wouldn't have Hooper
swam down to get it?
Well, when he swims down to get it, and when Jaws, actually the shark's name is Bruce. When the shark jumps up, that's actually why. So behind the scenes, they would call the shark Bruce, and that's why in Finding Nemo, the shark was like, "My name's Bruce."
Oh, that's cool. See, I always thought that the robot they just called it Bruce. That's cool. I didn't realize that. Is it in the book? He's called.
No,
Bruce
it's like
too?
they just nicknamed him Bruce.
Cool.
Behind the scenes, but so why wouldn't Hooper just swim down, grab the thing, and then when Jaws or Bruce is on the boat, and he can't, he just swims up there, goes.
I don't know.
Right in his butthole.
I don't know, Mark. If you were in a fucking cage underwater, would you do that? Or
He wasn't in the cage anymore.
Oh, whatever. If you were underwater and a shark was attacking, would you be shocked or would you?
But he wasn't
action.
attacking him anyway. He was attacking the boat. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that once Hooper's in the clear, he's behind the rock. He's looking up at the boat, and he sees that the shark's going up there, and he can see like the fucking things are over there. Why wouldn't he grab it and be like? Whoop, 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 whoop?
I don't know, dude. He's a city boy.
He is.
He's not thinking.
That you got.
Dude, is nowhere in a textbook
He's
does
been
it say what
counting
to
money
do.
all of his life.
Nowhere in a textbook does it say what to do in this situation. So he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying I'm saying he's the reason why Quint's dead.
Maybe if he paid $250 for a library card, he could fucking figure it out.
Yeah. Quint. Then we have one of the most spectacular and probably greatest deaths in film history. Is Quint dying?
Yeah, that was gruesome.
That man is writhing in fucking pain.
He spits out a big loogie of blood. It's great.
Yeah, his scream is haunting.
It's all really well done.
It's so haunting that it's double tracked.
And I don't think the animatronic is distracting from it at all. Like, I think his performance makes you not even look at Bruce.
Hot take, I think Bruce looks great.
There's a couple scenes where I was like, yeah, I guess. But there's a lot of it looks great.
I'd say compared to what I've seen from the 70s, this is pretty immaculate.
Yeah.
Like, compare this to Logan's Run effects.
Yeah. Plankton.
Sea greens. Like compare this to a moving robot that's like covered in mirrors and is showing the crew in the reflection every shot.
Yeah.
This is pretty good.
Oh yeah, we should mention that before we get to focus back on the ending. The first time like the characters see Bruce is iconic when Brody's doing the chum. And that was one of the scariest moments in the movie as a kid, and for audiences, because it's the first time the shark appears without the dun 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 dun. So you just have showing this shit, and then he just throws the thing. You see the shark come up, and everyone shit their fucking pants, bro.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, and then you have the iconic "You're gonna need a bigger boat" moment. We all clapped. We're like, we know
stood
that.
up, we clapped.
Yeah.
I clapped.
Yeah.
I didn't clap.
It was like 3 Citizen Canes, 3 Charles Foster Canes. Just...
Well, I can't believe that didn't pique your mic.
It's because I went over here.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He's not a professional.
This is my first go around, all right?
He'll still crack a soda right on the mic, though.
Yeah. I've done 26 episodes. I've done 26 episodes of Bonding for Bond. Who the fuck are you?
Bonding with Bond graduate.
Yes. Okay.
He walked to Mark Malley on stage in 2018.
Who the fuck are you? Anyway, yeah, I think the shark looks fantastic and all its.
It really does, and it being in water the whole time really helps. I think because you never see the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you saw the whole thing, you know.
The only time I think it looks like shit is when they shoot it with the barrel and he comes out of the water and goes. Argh! Because he's like almost the entire body's out of the water. You're like, all right. And the only other time it's kind of weird is when they cut to the stock footage of the real shark. And so you see what a real shark looks like again. And you're just like, oh.
That really didn't help. That didn't do them any favors.
That's a really good point.
like when they're doing the cage thing, you see the real shark moving. You're like, oh yeah, that's how a shark moves. It doesn't just...
It can't back out of the spot.
Yeah, it's. I wonder how it got caught. Why doesn't it swim backwards like it was like beforehand? Oh yeah, because sharks can't swim backwards.
Why is it not putting in reverse and pulling back?
Yeah, I remember. There's only one time I've ever seen a movie actually like I can't think of that did that, and I was Mark the Shark Guy back in the day
This
on
was a
YouTube.
shark expert.
Yeah, I used to have a YouTube thing that's lost, but when I tried to be on Channel Awesome, and I was Mark the Shark Guy, and my catchphrase was "Chomp Chomp." It's me, Mark the Shark Guy. And on my shark film reviews, I can only remember one movie ever questioning the shark backwards bullshit, and it was Deep Blue Sea, where Samuel Jackson was like, "Tell me I didn't motherfucking just see a shark swim backwards." And I was just like, "Oh yeah, they can swim backwards. Fuck Jaws. The movie sucks. Deep Blue Sea is a real scientifically accurate movie."
And when he goes back, he goes back. Like it's a straight beeline to back.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, he's dead. Chief Brody's now he closes the door because he knows that sharks can't come inside if they're not invited in. Yeah.
Vampires and sharks.
Yeah. Two things.
There's no windows or anything for the shark to possibly come through.
But then there's a window and the shark comes
Actually,
through.
he wasn't looking on the other side. There was a window.
Yeah, that's where the attack comes, not from the front, but from the side.
Exactly.
Pack hunters. I love the detail of like the shark's teeth being really red, and you have like pieces of cloth hanging from its teeth. I love that.
Good little attention to detail.
Yep. And then Chief Brody throws a air canister
Yeah.
into his mouth.
From the scuba diving gear, there's another air canister.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense, but okay.
Butthole.
Because earlier in the film, Hooper's like, if you screw around these tanks, they're gonna blow up. So Chief's like, throw this bad boy in there, and he gets on top and he has a gun and he shoots at the tank until it explodes. And he goes, "Smiley, you son of a."
How many shots does it take him? Like 4?
Yeah, I think it's 4.
I think it's
Bad aim.
6.
Maybe you get better aim before you become the chief of police, dude.
Yeah.
This is before they all had assault weapons.
Yeah. The shark blows up and it looks sick.
Yeah.
And then like the shark's dead carcass like floating through the water looks fucking awesome with the blood. And
there's a really good shot in the like shark falling down into the water where there's just like a giant cloud of blood and you just see the fin going by, and I just imagine the cameraman freaking out.
that shot's so good that they used it in Jaws 4. Even though the footage does not match at all.
Is it the same aspect ratio at least?
Yeah, no, it's the same. It's literally the same exact shot. They use the same scenes.
No,
they take
matching
out
the rest of the movie.
Oh yeah, the color doesn't match
Oh, great.
because this looks like a real movie, and then Jaws 4 doesn't. It's like so blown out and so like it looks like a cartoon. Is the best way I can say it. Like the blue, like you see how that looks like the ocean.
Yeah.
Like the blue, like the water is so blue.
It's just blue.
It looks
food
like someone
coloring.
took like it looks like someone like threw a bunch of blue paint into a fucking like a sink. Like it's insane. It's insanity.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Anyway, Chief's like celebrating, and then Hooper probably wondering, like, so how the fuck am I gonna get out of this one? I'm on a sinking boat, and I got nothing. But then Hooper comes up.
Lo and behold, from the ocean.
Matt Hooper, Oceanographic
Hoop
Institute.
Hoop is back.
Yeah, and he's just like, "What about Quint? I don't know, man. Look around."
Do you see him?
Yeah, is he there? What do you
No,
think
his
he's got on a
guts are
little?
all over the
Got on a
ocean
little jet
floor.
ski in his when he's like, "I'll be back."
Well, I hid, so maybe he's hiding.
Yeah. It's like, no, Hooper, they're not all like bitches like you. Some of them actually stood around the fight. Yeah. Some of us are actually going to be in the sequel.
Some of us are veterans.
And they decided to take the barrels that the shark had, we didn't have in the scene when he blew up, and they decided to ride those back to town.
Yeah, wait, how would the barrels not have exploded with the shark?
Because they weren't on him when he exploded.
Oh, of course, yes. My bad. And we get a little bit of bromance at the end.
I can conceivably possibly argue why those aren't on him.
They could be like tied, like the rope could just be really long and
Well-
not appear in a lot of shots.
Well, it's maybe when he got stuck in like the shark cage, and maybe it like ripped them off, like or cut the wire.
Are bars of steel gonna rip a wire that's like strong enough to pull a shark?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, the shark.
rest my case.
The shark never has barrels when he's underwater. That whole time when he's fighting Hooper.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Spielberg defender.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he's defending Steven Spielberg,
Yeah.
one of the best directors ever.
Yeah. The man who made Hook.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Hook, by the way. I wasn't a dig at Hook. Hook's one of my favorite
He
movies.
made Munich, right?
I don't like you.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
like
a
Munich.
Great film.
I do not like Munich. We were going through it the other day. Like good Spielberg movies and stuff.
We were looking for the worst one.
Yeah, and I think it might
What was
be.
it?
It's either. It's. I think it's either.
Oh, BFG.
I don't think BFG is the worst. I think it's either Ready Player One or it's The Lost World.
I don't know, dude.
It's probably The Lost World though.
I haven't seen most of them. I can't say anything.
Yeah,
I've seen BFG though, and that sucks.
let's just say it's The Lost World because it is.
We'll just assume I'm right.
Yeah, because I watched The Lost World a couple
He's
days
the
ago.
shark guy.
I watched The Lost World a couple days ago, and it was better than I remembered it, but by a pube hair, not a significant amount. But anyway, they ride into town, and they have do this cute little thing in the credits where if you watch all the credits, you can see Chief Brody and Hooper get onto land. It's great.
It's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
And that's
And there's
Jaws.
a little bromance at the end too. You get that? A little
Mm-hmm.
homoerotic tinge.
Yeah, where he's like, I used to be afraid of the water. Can't imagine why.
Love it.
But yeah, that's Jaws.
That's Jaws, baby.
And should we even bother with the rating stuff?
Let's do it.
I just filled out mine. It's just all fives.
Let's do it.
If anybody hasn't seen an episode before, we go through.
I've never gotten to the end.
I don't blame you. I don't either. We just go through and rate categories, and it starts with story 1 through 5. How you feel about it?
It's a 5, baby.
It's a 5 from me.
It's well written. I mean, that monologue is enough to boost it to a 5, I think.
Oh yeah.
In terms of how well it's written, it's great. And the story, it's a simple story, you know.
It's a B movie.
Yeah, but that's just like really well executed.
Yeah, it's you know what it is. It's like the greatest slasher movie.
And it's proof that stories don't need to be complicated. You don't need to be Kaufman in your plot, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, I think that's what Spielberg has always been good at is making a simple plot and making it
It's
slap.
Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
simple.
Spielberg and Lucas are good at. You know, you don't need to be Scorsese and fucking Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, story 5 stars.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah,
I kind of already showed my cards. But
yeah,
directing is the second one.
5.
Jeez, I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, 3?
Well, the barrel inconsistency. So
Yeah.
I have to take a point away.
No, like we've been over this, but like shot for shot, this is I'd say better than Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park is an awesome movie,
Yeah.
perfect movie. There's so much. It's not innovation, but like we said, it's like simple. Like he knows what he's doing with each shot, and it conveys what he's going for perfectly. So I'd say the directing is perfect.
Yeah. Nick.
Yeah. The next one's acting.
5. Stand-up performance. I know we always do that. I'm gonna give it to a what?
Yeah, we usually pick some standout thing, usually by acting, for who had like the best performance.
I'm either gonna give that honest. Legitimately, I'll give it to either Hooper or the mayor.
Yeah, pretty much. Chief is good. Chief is great.
Yeah.
Like you pointed out the facial expressions.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, and Quint, but I think Quint. Everyone fillets Quint's performance, so I'm gonna give it to Richie Dreyfuss.
Yeah, 5.
5 stars.
I'm gonna give it to Bruce.
Yeah, that shark could act.
Ah.
Shout out to the
we should do that when we should edit. We should make an edit of that if like the shark comes out of the water.
It's just dead silent, but
Yeah, peanut butter baby.
the dead body that floats. Great performance on that.
Mm-hmm.
Then cinematography.
5. Absolute fucking 5. Vertigo zoom, that shot with like the light grazing Ben Gardner's boat, the oneers. Oh my god.
5 for Wanners, yeah.
The oneers are insane, and the day for night's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's impressive. Score. which this is the only one where I was like, there's not a whole bunch besides the theme, but the theme is the theme. So.
Yeah.
My opinion is
Dun, 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 dun.
Out of 5.
Yeah, 5.
5. Dun 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 dun.
The shoot, in the like proper use of the score when the score isn't there, it's purposely not there.
Yeah.
And like intelligent use of it, like with the scene where it's the kid
Yeah.
and this theme doesn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's wonderful. Art direction, which the big standout things for me are the
boat.
yeah, well, the boat for sure, and then when they go, is it like his office or something?
Mhm.
Where all the shark skeletons are and everything.
Oh, it's his house.
Okay, yeah, his house is phenomenal.
I also really like the Amity Island signs. Like that's
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah, all the sign work's great. in
I
this.
I also love the painfully New England fashion that all the people in New England have.
I mean, the state of Massachusetts is naturally beautiful.
Yeah.
What's more to say? Come on over.
What more do you need? Come on to Massachusetts.
Nantucket, Cape Cod,
Come to Massachusetts.
Lowell.
Come to Massachusetts. You can get an apartment where you'll have to share one room with 17 roommates
The spirit of
for
America.
$6,000 for $6,000
We
a month.
have the best design for license plates.
Yeah.
Plain white. It's Spielberg. It's simple.
Red, white, market basket.
What more do you need? Yes. What more do you need, folks?
And
Yeah.
then editing's the last one.
5. Get out of here. Because I've seen scenes that they deleted, and like there's like a lot of times in this movie they will cut like right before a scene's gonna go on for like way too long. So like you know that
Right.
scene where he's like, I gotta he's like when the mayor's like, what do you have there to like the deputy, and he's like, there's a shark attack. I have to nail these on the beach. That scene goes on for like 3 minutes, like where they keep talking about it. And like the mayor keeps following him, and it goes on for like ever. There's also like a weird scene where a kid's playing clarinet, and Quint is watching him, and the kid's going like, brr, 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 and Quint's going ba 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 ba, and it's like all these it's all these weird things that just like needed to go.
Right.
So the editing's perfect.
I'm gonna follow the old adage. Is that how you say that word? Adage, like the saying that like editing is best when you don't notice it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you notice it a lot in this movie, where especially like you got any better suggestions? Card cut to them building a fucking thing.
Yeah. Well, the fact that it felt smooth
Yeah.
is good enough for me.
Yeah. Exactly. This movie's fantastic. 5
It was
stars.
buttery smooth.
Yeah, and then even some of the editing is like perfectly cut for comedy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a great job with it.
And that's it, right? That's all. That's the last thing we have to do. Yeah. And that's Jaws. And I think we're all going to give the movie 5 stars. Nick, very important question.
5 stars.
No. Do you think this is the best movie we've watched so far?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to think about that actually.
should ask me that. Yes, I do. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying because some of the things we've watched, it's my first time seeing them. So like 12 Angry Men is so good in my head from watching it the first time here. But this is probably the best movie.
Yeah. I think the only competition, honestly, is Over the Edge. Mark's other favorite movie. We also, and actually, this also came out around the same time as another one of our films we watched, Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Fun. Anyway, thanks Jacob for coming on the show.
Yeah. I just want to say I've seen Dog Day Afternoon. I like this one more.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say.
That's his hot take.
Yeah. That's my hot take.
So that's going to conclude the show. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to leave us a review on Spotify and like us on Facebook. Not on Facebook.
Review on Spotify?
Yeah.
You can't. Can you do that?
Yeah.
On podcast.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
Sounds like you should review our podcast.
yeah.
I will. Right when I get home, I'm hopping on my Spotify.
Yeah, and be sure to subscribe to us here on YouTube at Mark Millie Podcasts, and be sure to watch our other shows like 296. We'll get more of the cool cadences of Jacob Quartermarsh.
Hello. See me on over at 296.
And next week, me and Nick are going to be doing Jaws 2, doing our month of Jaws.
Welcome to summer.
Yeah.
Summer's back, baby.
Yeah. The heat is on. It's Shark Month. Let's go. Mark the Shark Guy is back. So chomp chomp. We'll see ya. We'll be swimming next to you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.